Hello and welcome. I'm Jeff Bonanno, and you are listening to the Do Something Nice podcast.
Do something.
Something.
Do something.
Nice.
Do something nice.
Do something nice. Do something nice.
Do something nice.
Welcome to another episode of Do Something Nice, my friend. Are you ready for another amazing day? I know I am. In fact, this episode is the first of many episodes that I'm excited to share because it's an episode which I share some of the stories from listeners like you. Or maybe it just happens to be one of the stories from you. If that's the case, thank you for reaching out and sharing a specific story in your life that recognizes the fact that there is good in the hearts of those around us. With all the evil and hatred we encounter on a day-to-day basis, it's no wonder that there are people willing to just give up on us. But before one does, I just ask to consider the good that is sometimes buried beneath all of that darkness. This episode contains a few short messages from listeners who have written in to me, and I want to now share with you. These are just a few examples of the witness deeds of kind-hearted people in this world. The first one I'd like to share is from Jesse Strong, who writes, Hi, Jeff. I had an amazing encounter with a stranger yesterday. I was enjoying my first lunch of our company's leadership summit in Dallas. We saw a pigeon limping near our table. He had string tangled on his foot. I hoped I could easily pull it off with a butter knife. Not so easy after all. It was really tangled up on each of his toes. With the kindness and help of our waiter and using my coworker Perry Morrison's nail clippers, we were able to set him free. My other coworker, Danny Weidman, took some pics without me knowing. It was really touching to see this little guy trust us and then take flight after seeing him struggle just to walk moments before we intervened. Thank you, Jesse, for sharing that story and for taking the time to help animals in need. I will be sure to put those pictures up on the DoSomethingNice.net site for episode 5. Where you, the listener, can see this lucky bird being rescued. Now, I haven't done any episodes yet that really identify the rescuing of our animal friends on this earth. But I can already see that many listeners can identify with these kind acts towards animals. I think it's a good sign that I will need to do an episode like that soon. But until then, let me share another story about helping animals. This one is from a woman named Rachel Olive, who wanted to recognize her sister. She wrote, My sister stopped on her way home after work last night and rescued a possum that had been hit by a car and left on the road. She took it to the Wildlife Center in Waynesboro, where hopefully they will be able to rehabilitate it. Thank you, Rachel, for giving a shout out to your sister. I hope that possum is doing well and has recovered. Be sure, if you're listening, to share with me any updates, as I'd love to hear about them. Switching gears a little bit, I also got a message from Rachel Hennis, who wrote about an idea that she wanted to share on how people can help others. Rachel wrote, Hey, I thought I'd share with you that a friend and I periodically make blessing bags. Basically, we go to the store and gather up travel-size hand sanitizer, shampoo, soap, deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste, feminine products, etc., along with some food items such as crackers, packets of tuna, bottle of water, cookies, and put them in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag to hand to homeless people that might need them. We also do the same for pet products, mostly dogs, So Bones small bags of dog food so that we can also help their furry friends. I know it's not a whole lot, but I think it's something people can easily do if they wanted to pass on good deeds. Thank you, Rachel. That is certainly a wonderful idea, which I personally believe is a lot and makes a huge difference for those receiving your blessing bags. And I think this is something that anyone, any person, or even an entire group of people can do together to help those in need. The last story I'd like to share with you today is from a dear friend of mine, someone whom I had met during my political run and who had touched my heart when we first spoke. My friend Tina Tillman was excited to hear about the making of this podcast, and when she saw it had gone live, she reached out to me with an encounter she herself had from someone who did something nice for her. Tina wrote to me and said, "Hello, Jeff. I remember you talking about doing things like do something nice. I'm so glad you finally have done it. I don't have the gentleman's name, but I was at the corner of Prater and Pyramid here in Sparks, Nevada, on a snowy night and needed to go across the street to the little store. My wheelchair unfortunately got stuck in the snow where you would normally go to cross the street because of the street sweepers cleaning the roads and paying no attention to the buildup it caused on those islands where you push the little buttons that tell you when it's safe to walk. Well, a very kind gentleman who hardly spoke English got out of his van and helped me get my wheelchair unstuck, and even made sure I made my way to the store and back. That goes to show that nationality makes no difference in this world, as many may want to make us believe, like some political figures and others. There is goodness in all of us, and unfortunately there is bad as well, no matter your ethnic background. A true good person finds ways to suppress the bad and to truly feed off the goodness every day. It's easy when you do these things every single day. Thank you, Tina, for sharing that wonderful message. And if you, the listener, just so happen to know who that kind man was that helped Tina out, please let me know. I would love to give him a shout-out personally for his kindness. I guess the hard part of telling people to do something nice without being caught is when you do want to thank them, it's not always that easy, huh? Well, that does make me think about a quote I once heard, which originally came from 17th century English writer John Bunyan, who said, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." That quote again, so you can absorb it, is you have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you. And it is so true. It really is. So much that I dare you to try it yourself. To do something for someone else without getting caught. Because it's not about the recognition at this point. It's about helping others. So take on that challenge and make someone even just smile, because you never know. It may be just what that person needed. And if it happens to you, or you have the chance to witness such kindness, I'd love to hear about it. Please share with me your stories by emailing me at mailbag@dosomethingnice.net. And it just may end up on a future episode of this podcast. You can also help me out by subscribing to this podcast, sharing it with others, and give me your comments and ratings so that I may reach more listeners with this positive message. Well, my friend, that is it for this episode. And again, I certainly hope it either added to your wonderful day or helped make your day just that much better. And if you would like to follow me on a social media, you can certainly find me on Facebook at Do Something Nice Podcast. On Twitter, you can find me at Be a Nice Ninja. Or you can also follow my personal Twitter account at Jeff Bonanno. You can also find this podcast at dosomethingnice.net. Thank you so much for listening in. And remember to do something nice and be a nice ninja. Take care.